In Vancouver, that bacon gonna get you. I mean, them Bacon Brothers. The Bacon Brothers, I heard they some savages out there. And if you don't know about them, watch this motherfucking video. Come along. Let me show you how they get out in Vancouver, BC.
Jonathan Bacon had many enemies, but he wasn't one to hide behind bodyguards. With his younger brothers Jared and Jamie, they formed the vicious Red Scorpion gang, launching a murderous drug turf war against the rival UN gang.
Well, there will certainly be payback.
Hey guys, in today's video we'll be taking a look at the notorious British Columbian gangster trio, the Bacon Brothers, and the huge turf war they were involved in, which is actually one of BC's deadliest of all time. Many gangs in BC were involved, mainly the United Nations gang and the Red Scorpions, as well as the Hells Angels, Independent Soldiers, and the Dhak Group.
Who the fuck? Why they just got a nigga in the suit, bro? Who the fuck is that guy?
I've previously made videos on BC gangsters like Bindi Johal and gangs like the Brothers Keepers on this channel. But today we'll be talking about how the Bacon Brothers added their own unique flair of Canadian gangsterism to their home city of Abbotsford and the wider BC area. Abbotsford's location is near an unmanned border with the United States, and the wealth generated by the lucrative drug trade makes it a natural breeding ground for gang conflict. A conflict associated with three things: drugs, money, and power. It was the charm of these three that raised the trio of brothers to a life of crime. The Bacon Brothers were born in a wealthy...
Well, what the fuck is wrong with folks' ass, bro? He got that retarded strength, bro. Y'all see, Brody? Y'all see, Brody? He got that retarded strength, bro. Y'all see, folks. I ain't gonna lie to you. Brody ass, I would not want to fuck with him, bro. It looked like his ass will headbutt you, and that shit is an instant death. His ass got super strength. I ain't gonna cap to you, bro. Out of all them motherfuckers, bro, Jamie the most dangerous.
Wealthy household in Abbotsford, and as kids they took an active interest in sports. The youngest of the three, Jamie Bacon, was even a provincial high school wrestling champion in his senior year. However, the brothers chose a life of crime despite coming from a functional family. They were dealing in drugs and guns as early as 2002 when their 18-year-old middle brother, Jared, was convicted of unauthorized possession of a prohibited weapon. Jared later confessed in court that the brothers made a conscious decision to become gangsters when still in their teens. The Bacon Brothers gained notoriety quickly and were said to be responsible for...
Nigga, what? Why? Why the fuck would y'all niggas come from a good home? They said they came from a good home and they just decided willingly, like, fuck it. We just want to gangbang. Niggas just don't, I don't know why the fuck motherfuckers would do that shit.
Huge waves of violence that spilled over onto the streets of Vancouver. Despite the eyes of the law being firmly on them, the brothers were living a life in the fast lane. They weren't too concerned about keeping a low profile, since they were commonly seen in public with their flashy cars, beautiful women, and a total disregard for the laws. They weren't just gangsters, they were inspiring others to follow in their footsteps. The young trio became a part of organized...
Bro, the nigga just said they came from a good family. They said them niggas decided to do a life of crime, even though they came from a good household. Normally, when he talking about niggas that got a crime family, his ass gonna say they came from a crime family. His ass ain't gonna say that shit, bro. They said these niggas came from a nice family, bro. That's what the nigga said.
Crime when they joined the infamous United Nations gang, which was operating in Abbotsford, BC since 1997. The gang was called the United Nations because of the diverse ethnic identities of its members. The UN group was heading a profitable drug-running enterprise in the early 2000s, when they were said to be trading the famous British Columbian cannabis in return for cocaine to be sold in Canada, and even had helicopters which would be going back and forth through the Canadian and United States border. However, things soon started to go south for the UN gang. Their connections with the Triad and expanding operations in the US put the gang firmly on the law enforcement radar. The drug trade was also shifting, with cocaine becoming more and more profitable, but cocaine trade was the hallmark of the Red Scorpions gang. Originally formed in 2005 in a youth detention center in Vancouver, BC, the Red Scorpions gang was already at odds with the UN gang to get greater control of Vancouver, BC.
Bro, UN sound like a motherfucking country, bro. The UN don't sound like a gang. That sound like a motherfucking country somewhere.
These drug trafficking operations, the ambitious brothers jumped ship and joined hands with the Red Scorpions. It was a bitter turn in the rivalry between the two gangs and made the brothers the biggest enemies of the UN group. Authorities described the brothers as being quote-unquote completely fearless and believed that they quickly took charge of the operations at the Red Scorpion gang. What followed was a cycle of violence through the likes of one of the bloodiest turf wars BC has ever seen. Jonathan Bacon, a traitor in the eyes of the UN gang, was targeted outside his home in September 2006, but survived the murder attempt. Legal troubles also continued for the Bacons, so in February 2007, they left their Abbotsford home and moved into a luxurious home in Surrey, BC. Surrey, unlike Abbotsford, does not have its own police force, and is patrolled by an RCMP detachment. This makes it easier for their Bacon brothers to run their drug trafficking operations because the RCMP were fewer in numbers and officers were generally stationed for a short time. However, a change of home did not stop the murder plots and violence. In April 2007, the youngest brother Jamie was the target when his Corvette was bombarded with bullets as he pulled into his Surrey home.
Damn.
Jamie fired back with the Glock taken from an SUV parked in the family's garage, causing the police to search the SUV. They ended up finding 4 semi-automatic guns and 5 loaded pistol magazines hidden in a secret compartment. Many of the guns had middle brother Jared's fingerprints, even though he wasn't present.
I ain't gonna cap. You know it's gonna be some wild shit when they get to talking about the brothers. When it's anything about brothers doing crime together, bro, just know they finna be doing the most diabolical shit because, yeah, you know when brothers get together to do some shit, it's gonna be worse.
In the house at the time. Both Jamie and Jared Bacon were charged with weapons possession. The move to Surrey also gave way to new gang-related rivalries for the Bacons. One of these rivals were Corey Law, who was running a dial-a-dope operation at the Balmoral apartment tower. Law also tried to convince a Bacon Brothers associate to work for him instead, and this did not sit well with Jamie, who was quoted as saying, "That kid's a little Zeke, he's a little bitch, I'm going to jack him. He shouldn't be working in our town, we run this town." Jamie demanded Corey to either hand over a drug line to him or pay a $100,000 tax imposed by Jamie for badmouthing him. However, Corey refused his offer, meaning that from
Yeah, what the fuck niggas think this shit is, bro? Like, even if a nigga had 100,000, you really think a nigga finna give you 100,000, bro? Niggas damn near gonna die behind giving a motherfucker 100,000. I ain't gonna lie to you. You damn near gonna have to smoke a motherfucker if you want to get 100,000 just because you want that shit because you think you run the area that you don't own.
From the Bacon brothers' perspective, Corey had to die. So on October 19th, 2007, 3 Red Scorpion members entered the Balmoral Tower to carry out the hit. However, their plan began going sideways when the killers arrived at Law's apartment and found out that he wasn't alone. Corey Law was with his brother and 2 business associates, as well as a gas fitter who had no connection with the gangsters, but was inside their apartment on a service call. As the Red Scorpions members were looking to clear out the hallway, Law's next door neighbor, Chris Mohan, was leaving for a basketball game. The assassins didn't want to take a risk of being identified, and they hauled the innocent Chris into the apartment along with their rivals. All 6 men were forced to lie on the floor and shot. 7 long years later, and the shooters were all eventually charged.
Damn, I was thinking, man, things didn't go as planned, whereas he had his homies with him, so they ended up getting on their ass. But all their ass got cooked. So y'all telling me they in that bitch living the street life don't got no guns? Like I would think like y'all got guns and shit just sitting right there, just laying around. As soon as a nigga try to come through that bitch, y'all bah, 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 bah. I wasn't expecting y'all niggas to get smoked. I ain't gonna cap to you.
Charged with first-degree murder and the conspiracy to commit murder. Jamie's case would end up taking even longer than this. On the streets, the deadly rivalry with the UN gang was becoming even deadlier. Several associates of the UN gang were out to kill the brothers after the death of popular UN gang member named Dwayne Mayer, who was shot to death in Abbotsford on May 8, 2008. Killed the very next day was Jonathan Barber, a stereo installer from Langley, BC, who had just taken Jamie Bacon's Porsche to work on. According to witness testimonies, 4 members of the UN gang were all in a truck as they chased Barber's vehicle thinking Jamie Bacon was inside. One of the UN members opened fire at the vehicle, killing Barber and injuring his 17-year-old girlfriend. On May 31st, 2008, Vancouver, BC.
Wait, that nigga don't, I mean, he could be 17, but I don't know. It sounded a little bit off. I hope this wasn't a grown man with a 17-year-old.
And injuring the 17-year-old girlfriend. On May 31st, 2008, Vancouver, BC's Integrated Gang Task Force warned those associated with Jonathan, Jared, and Jamie to steer clear of the trial or be potentially marked for death. That was indeed the case, as just months after the warning, 8 Bacon associates had been murdered. On January 2009, the bloody gang war that was being played out in the streets of Vancouver killed 20 and wounded 40 people in the span of the first 3 months. The murder plots against the brothers also continued, with at least 11 suspects arrested in connection to conspiracies to kill the Bacon brothers and their gang associates between January 1st, 2008 and February 17th, 2009. One of these elaborate plots was to bomb their Abbotsford residence. A former UN gang member testified in court that the group discussed dropping a bomb from one of its helicopters to kill a sibling trio, but a helicopter would have been too difficult to arrange logistically, while the danger of collateral damage was also much higher. The gang also considered other violent options like
Hey, niggas got too much money, bro. You got too much money if that's even an option, bro. Like, how the fuck a nigga gonna be like, yeah, maybe we should use a helicopter to drop a bomb on a nigga? Like, bro, what the fuck? Like y'all niggas, bro, doing too much, bro. I ain't gonna cap to you.
like a rocket launcher and grenades to hit the Bacon brothers with. However, they were unsuccessful in arranging those weapons as well. Things weren't going smoothly for the Bacon brothers from a legal standpoint either. Jamie Bacon was arrested in the 36 case in April 2009, and in 2010 he was convicted of 10 counts of possessing guns and ammunition at the Bacon family home in Surrey, and was given a 7-year sentence. The middle brother, Jared Bacon, was arrested just a month after Jamie on weapons and drug trafficking charges. On the outside, with both of his brothers in prison, the eldest brother, Jonathan, was trying to make new alliances. He contacted Larry Amaro of the Hells Angels biker gang and James Ryak of the Independent Soldiers. Together, the three formed the Wolfpack Alliance to expand their operations to other parts.
Bro, these niggas don't look like they ass supposed. He don't really. His ass look like a motherfucking corrupt ass motherfucking district attorney. Like his ass look bogus as hell, bro. His ass look like he gang banging though.
Of the country. However, he was soon to be caught up in another brewing rivalry. The BC gang wars went through a monumental moment after the murder of the famous BC gangster Gurmit Dhak, co-founder of the Dhak Group outside Metrotown Mall in October 2010. Gurmit was closely associated with the UN gang and had even contacted them to get rid of some of his rivals in the Hells Angels and the Independent Soldiers. The Dhak Group was an alliance formed between some of the Bacon brothers' rivals in response to the formation of the Wolfpack Alliance. Gurmit's targeted hit became a critical moment in the lower mainland gang rivalries and caused a war that resulted in the killings of some of the biggest gang leaders in Vancouver. Gurmit's brother, Suk Dhak, blamed Independent Soldier James Ryak and Hells Angels Larry Amaro
Bro, why do all these niggas look like politicians, bro?
for his brother's death and wanted revenge. On August 14, 2011, Jonathan Bacon was partying with his new associates in Kelowna, a city 275 kilometers east of Vancouver, where they were ambushed by 3 masked men when leaving the Grand Delta Hotel in a white Porsche. The attackers were later identified as members of the Dhak Group. Larry Amaro escaped with injuries, while James Ryak managed to run from the scene. However, the head of the Red Scorpion gang, the eldest Bacon brother, Jonathan, was wounded severely and soon collapsed and passed away due to his injuries. 2 women who were in the car with the 3 gangsters also sustained multiple non-fatal injuries. 3 members of the Dhak Alliance were arrested in relation to the hit in 2013. In the aftermath of the killing, the police claimed that while they kept track of the likelihood of any attacks on known gangsters, this one slipped through the cracks. What followed Jonathan Bacon's daylight murder was a wave of brutal retaliation that took out dozens in a span of months. Just 2 months later in October, a Dhak associate who had been a part of the Kelowna hunt was shot to death in Surrey, BC. And at the start of 2012, the second most prominent member of the Dhak syndicate was shot down on January 17th.
No, folks ass look like he a part of the mafia though. Folks ass look like he got some crime boss shit going on.
Sandeep Dure was in the lobby of the Sheraton Wall Center when he was shot multiple times in front of a stunned audience. Hells Angels Larry Amaro has been convicted of the killing. Sandeep Dure was running the Dure Group.
Bro, why the fuck would you do that? I feel like, bro, ain't nobody worth motherfucking popping them in front of a whole crowd, bro. Because that's basically an easy way to go to jail. Like, if you don't care about going to jail, go ahead and pop someone in front of the crowd. But if you don't want to go to jail, don't do that shit. That's because that's the easiest way to go to jail.
With his 2 brothers at the time, he had formed an alliance with Gurmit Dhak to counter the rising influence of the original Wolfpack Alliance. But that wasn't the ending of the Wolfpack revenge. In fact, the violent killings continued across the border all the way in Mexico with the murder of a man named Tom Gisby, a major organized crime figure in BC for decades. Gisby had been working closely with Gurmit Dhak for years. The payback for Kelowna continued. Suk Dhak, who was now heading the Dhak Group after the murder of his brother Gurmit, had allegedly issued the orders for the hit on Amero, Riak, and Jonathan Bacon. Witness testimonies say that Suk texted the attackers after Jonathan's killing and said, "Congratulations and lol, go have a drink." On Monday, November 26, 2012, both Suk Dhak and his bodyguard were shot to death at Burnaby's executive hotel. But even after the killing of the alleged Kelowna shooting mastermind, the murders did not stop. On January 15, 2013, two of Dhak's crew members directly involved in the Bacon murder were targeted in Surrey. Meanwhile, attempts to kill Jamie Bacon continued inside prison. A UN gang member was reported to be plotting to put cyanide inside steroids that Jamie was getting smuggled into prison in 2013. While Jamie was awaiting trial,
His ass look like the type of motherfucker that be taking steroids, bro. Like, bro, why would someone want to take steroids, bro? I heard that shit give you a little smeat, bro. It make your stuff small. It make you emotional. It's not worth it, bro. Like, I ain't gonna cap to you. And I heard the bitches don't even like that real buff shit for real. That's what I heard. Females don't like that real buff ass shit. You ask any female, bro, they ain't gonna say they don't want. No female want no hawk built ass nigga, bro. I ain't gonna cap to you, bro. That's what they be telling me, bro. They really like, bro, skinny niggas like me and regular size niggas, bro. And motherfucker, I ain't gonna cap to you. They don't want that real buff ass bodybuilder shit though. I ain't gonna bap to you. Y'all ass be looking like y'all take steroids anyway when you be too buff.
for the 36 murder case, the attempts proved unsuccessful. The bloody gang war slowed after prominent members of the Hells Angels, the UN gang, and the Red Scorpions, especially Jamie and Jared Bacon, were put behind bars. Jamie Bacon pleaded guilty in the 36 killings and got the first-degree murder charges dropped in a bargain. He was sentenced to 18 years in prison in September 2020, meaning that it took 13 years to get to this point. This is because of how over 1,300 officers and 80 police informants were needed for prosecution in building this case. Not only this, but a former investigator was found guilty in 2019 to a breach of trust and attempted obstruction of justice due to his romantic relationship with a key witness. Jamie will serve a total of 5 years and 7 months after factoring nearly 12 years in pretrial detention. Jared Bacon was acquitted from the weapons charge in 2010, but remained in custody after being found guilty of trying to smuggle $3 million worth of cocaine into Canada in 2009. Jared was caught agreeing to buy 100 kilograms of Mexican cocaine from an undercover police operative in a sting operation. Jared originally received a 12-year sentence, which was later increased to 14 years, amounting to a total of 9 years and 2 months after including time served in pretrial custody. He was released from prison twice during the span of his sentence. He was first released in 2017 by accident due to an error. However, he was arrested months later for violating his release conditions of not being allowed in drinking establishments, as well as not being allowed to communicate with other criminals. He violated—
Man, if I get out on accident, bro, I'm being on my best behavior. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm damn near gonna change my life around, bro. Just because you get that, people ain't getting no opportunity like that, bro. And for you to get lucky enough to be able to get blessed to get out on accident and you go do some shit that you're not supposed to be doing, that shit crazy.
these conditions a few months after his release since he was arrested in a strip club and was with another offender. Turns out that he actually gave a false identity to the police and was acting aggressively towards them by trying to break the window of the police vehicle he was confined in. He was released again in July 2018, but just 5 months later, his release was suspended once again after he tested positive for cocaine, and finally released from prison for a third time on March 19th, 2021. Jared is a free man yet again. However, the court cautioned that the gangster is still capable of violence and maintained ties with criminal organizations throughout the time of his prison sentence. Jared will now have to live under strict surveillance conditions in a halfway house, until it is determined that he no longer presents a risk to society. Court documents have also revealed that the notorious gangster requested to be released in a different region for his safety. The Bacon brothers seem to have made a conscious decision to step outside the law. Unfortunately for them, nothing in the criminal underworld is permanent, and shifting alliances, rivalries, and police work eventually caught up with each of them, and also caused one of the bloodiest wars that BC's crime scene has seen for a very long time. Please like and subscribe if you—
As y'all can see, them niggas out there in motherfucking Canada, they be saying British Columbia. I get confused, like what the fuck is they talking about? But they're talking about Canada, you feel me? And you see they be getting wild out there. They be having lots of crime families and shit. But, you know, ain't really shit else I can say. But If you watch this shit all the way through, I know your ass fucking with another motherfucking video. So go ahead and go watch another motherfucking video. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and what? Turn on post notifications so you never miss out any content like this. Gone.